How's it going, guys? This is Nappy Sensei here, and before this video starts, I just want to let you guys know that at the time of this recording, there's currently a Black Friday sale going on for this controller, so you can get this controller at a discounted price, which puts more money in your pocket. Not only that, you'll also find a code in the description that you can add on to your Amazon order that will give you an additional 5% off. So this puts more money in your pocket, and if you are interested in purchasing this controller, highly suggest you take advantage of the sale that's going on right now and also use the code for that additional 5% off. But without further ado, here's the review for you guys. Enjoy. Hey guys, how's it going? This is going to be the unboxing portion for the EasySMX M15 mobile gaming controller. So as you see, this is a controller right here, and this controller was actually sent out to me by the company EasySMX because they're having a Black Friday sale on this controller. And I was like, hey, you want to review this and put this out during Black Friday sale? I was like, sure, why not? So without further ado, let's open this controller and let's just see what this mobile controller is about. So it's supposed to be for Android and iOS for 15 and the new 16 that came out recently. Ooh, well, I can't rip that. All right then. All right, now let's open this box up. If I can figure it out. Yep, slide here, open up here. I'm gonna pull this. And nothing else in the box. Put that to the side. Put this away. Looks like you get a how-to guide. Nice and folded for you. It's pretty long. Let's see. Yes. Gotta love this. So as you guys see right here, there is a how-to guide on... Oh, it has the mobile software. Okay, that's cool. Looks like that basically teach you how to put the controller into the, put your phone in the controller. Reading this more. Where's English side? English side. Huh. Is there a backside? Yep, here we go. We got the backside to it with a bunch of other languages I don't understand. It's interesting. I don't see the English how to. D. French. ES. Interesting. It's funny. It's funny how I got a how-to guide, but I do not see English anywhere. Oh, English is the very first, these first 4 blocks up here is all English. So looks like you got X input, Apple mode. Let's see. Oh, it has a Bluetooth mode for X input. Interesting. FN mode has a Bluetooth mode. Okay, so it's Bluetooth mostly into Xbox wireless controller. Pretty sure that's for Call of Duty Mobile. And HID mode, which is FN plus A. Okay, then cool. So does the controller support turbo? Yes, it does. It has turbo functions, speed adjustments, and all that cool stuff. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the controller. Holding this controller in my hand, let's say, so these ain't full-fledged joysticks, but they're kind of not like smaller, like small Switch joysticks. These are like a good in-between. I have to say, I really do like this a lot. It feels really nice. It would be nice to have like a little friction ring around here. But I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, the sticks still roll pretty well, but no friction ring, so bit of a bummer. D-pad. D-pad actually feels nice. It is not too mushy. There's all mechanical keys. It would be easy for you to make like crazy diagonal inputs, but I kind of like that because you should be able to not make diagonal inputs because you could feel every single click. Yeah, I can see. I really have to like go out of my way to actually like make the diagonal inputs, but it's still very easy to make. So that's that's a plus to me. ABXY, ooh, mechanical keys. Okay, I like the mechanical switches. That's nice. It's definitely welcome to have mechanical keys. Looks like you got a turbo button for turbo mode, FN button for programming. Of course, you got your start and select. You got your 2 bumpers right here, and you got your 2 triggers. Looking at the back of the controller, you get 2 programmable buttons right here. So you can basically program a button here. And as far as the distance go, it's really not bad. Oh wait, there's some text inside of here. HID mode, FN plus A, Xbox mode, X input, FN plus X, virtual touch mode, FN plus Y, Apple mode, FN plus B. Okay, cool. So I kind of like the fact that like it has a sticker on here to tell you all the modes for this controller. So yeah, it feels really nice. But without further ado, because the controller go in X input mode, I can actually do an input latency test on this controller for both the Bluetooth and the wire version of this. And yeah, let's play some mobile games. Oh wait, by the way, path through charging right here. I almost forgot about that. Yeah, that's a plus. But yeah, without further ado, let's hook this up to my PC, play some mobile games, and I'll tell you how I feel about this controller. Hey guys, how's it going? So right now I have the EasySMX controller hooked up to my PC with this crazy connection I got going on, and it's actually seen as an X input device on my PC. So without further ado, let's do a joystick accuracy test to see how accurate these joysticks are. Well, so far they actually look really good even before I do the test. So let's do this test and see get actual numbers. All right, on one swoop. All right, so it looks like it has a 0.1 error rate, which is pretty good for this controller. But it's actually cool that this controller actually has very accurate joysticks. But without further ado, let's do a input latency test on this controller. All right, guys, so now we're next input tester, and we're going to do an input latency test on this controller. So without further ado, let's test the input latency using a wire connection to my PC in X input mode. All right, set a lot of 7s. Yeah, I can see this controller having a polling rate of 125 hertz. This runs 8 millisecond input latency. So yeah, here we are. Now we actually got the numbers for this. So it looks like it is scored a little bit higher than 8 milliseconds with a 7.84 with a polling rate of 127. So I can easily say that this controller is meant to have a polling rate of 125 hertz, which is supposed to be 8 milliseconds, but it scores slightly better with little to no outliers, which is actually really good. Without further ado though, I am going to try to test this controller with its Bluetooth connection because this controller does also have X input mode and Bluetooth. So without further ado, let's test that input latency. Alright guys, so I now have this controller hooked up to my PC via Bluetooth. So it's a little bit hard to see, but you will notice that the LED right here is purple, showing that's in Bluetooth mode. And I still have to keep it hooked up to like my PC or like any power source just to keep the controller powered while it's in Bluetooth mode. But that shouldn't really affect the input latency test for this test what we're doing. So without further ado, let's perform this input latency test and see what we get. Oh, this ain't looking good. A lot of 14s. A lot of 14s. Ooh. Yeah, this is going to take a minute. All right, we got our answer. So looks like it has an average input latency of 16.75 milliseconds with a polling rate of 59 with a bunch of outliers out here. We got 74 milliseconds, 74, 59, 59. And just scrolling up, yeah, this controller Bluetooth input latency is actually really high, which is not really good. Now the only thing that you're probably going to use in the Bluetooth mode for this controller is probably for Call of Duty Mobile, because this controller does support X input and Android mode with via the like actual port connection rather than using Bluetooth. So I will only advise you to use the Bluetooth mode for Call of Duty Mobile. For any other mobile games to support controller, just use HID mode or X input mode. You have a much better experience compared to using Bluetooth connection. Alright, but let's move along with this video. Hey guys, how's it going? So real quick, I'm going to show you guys how to program the two programmable back buttons that's right here on this controller. As you see, they're not programmed as of right now, and we're actually about to program them right now. So if you want to program these two programmable back buttons, what you actually want to do is hit one of these buttons and F-in for 2 seconds. Once you do that, you'll notice that the LED will turn purple, and all you want to do is press like an input and then press the back button again, and there you go. That's how you program one of the programmable back buttons. You also can do the same method if you want to program macros. So for instance, for this button, I want to program a macro. I'll hold F-in and the button for 2 seconds till the LED turns purple. Once the LED turns purple, which I know is hard to see on this camera right here, then you can actually type in a couple of inputs, and then you can hit the programmable button again. And now that's how you program macros for this controller. Now, if you want to clear everything, all you have to do is just hit the button, hold F-in with plus the programmable button for 2 seconds till LED turns purple, and just hit the programmable button again. And that's how you clear all programs for the programmable button. Alright guys, so real quick, I'm going to show you how to set turbo mode for this controller. As you see, this controller has a turbo button that's actually located right here on this controller, and it's easy to really set up turbo mode. So what you want to do is actually, say for instance you want to make X as your turbo mode button. All you gotta do is hold the turbo mode button and press X, and there you go. Now X has turbo mode functions, but you may have noticed that the turbo mode for this X button is actually really slow. Well, that's actually easy to adjust. So with actually using the left and right of the D-pad, you can actually adjust the speeds from 5 inputs a second to 10 inputs a second to 20 inputs a second to 40 inputs a second. So what you want to do is hold turbo mode and actually press right on the D-pad, and this will actually increase the speed of the inputs per second. So right now I'm at 10. If I hold turbo mode and press right again, I'm now at 20. And if I hold turbo mode and press right one more time, I'm now at 40 inputs a second. And as you see right now, I got turbo mode going ballistic right now. And if I want to lower the speed, all I have to do is just hold turbo mode and press left on the D-pad, and this will lower the speed all the way back down to like 5 inputs a second the more I press it. So as you see, now that the inputs are now 5 inputs a second. And if you want to get rid of turbo mode, it's actually really simple. So first thing you want to do is actually hold the button that currently has turbo mode, and you just want to press the turbo mode button, and now the button is a regular button again. So that's how you set up turbo mode for this controller. Alright guys, so I've been using this controller for about 2 weeks, and here are my thoughts on this controller. First off, I would like to talk about the input modes for this controller. I like the fact that this controller is very versatile when it comes to its input modes. And I do especially like the fact that this controller found a workaround to work on COD Mobile natively by having the Bluetooth Xbox mode that allows you to play COD Mobile. So with that, that's just perfectly great. Now, the Bluetooth X input mode does have a much higher input latency compared to actually using the USB-C port with a direct connection. But again, I will only use the Bluetooth mode for COD Mobile, and for all the other games that I'm playing, I would easily just use X input or D input mode. It's honestly a well-versed controller as far as its inputs go. The one thing I also like about this controller is compared to the predecessor, which is like the SMX M15, this controller is actually a really decent upgrade. So I like the fact that this controller is like an in-between between a mobile controller and a full-fledged controller. The fact that now that you got like rails on the side of the controller that you can rest your hands in, it feels nice to grip. The thumbsticks, they feel really nice and they work pretty well. Even though they don't have friction rings around them, they perform very well. They're easy to roll, feels nice. All the buttons on this controller have a nice click to it. The D-pad feels really nice where it's not too mushy, but it's not too stiff, and you can actually feel every single input when you push a button on this controller. And also, this controller comes with all the basic pro mobile features. Has 2 programmable buttons that you can program a single input on each of the buttons, or you can program macros onto it. You can program turbo mode that can go all the way up to 40 inputs a second, which I don't know why you need 40 inputs a second, but you do have that capability, which is a plus in my opinion. And also, this controller does support pass-through charging, so that way if you are gaming and your battery is low, you can actually just use a pass-through charging to charge your phone and continue gaming. Now, I will mind you that I have an S22, so I normally do not use pass-through charging while gaming because my phone will just heat up and it will just hurt your battery in the long term. So me personally, if you have a lower end device and you use a controller with pass-through charging, I say charge your phone up first,
then game away. If you have one of these like high-end gaming phones or one of these high-end phones that has a processing power where it's not heating up playing some of these games, then yeah, go right ahead, use a pass-through charging. It actually works pretty well for me, but for me personally, I have an S22, so I don't use it. With that being said, there's only one other downside I'd like to mention is the fact that this controller does not have a headphones jack. I know that is a little small because a lot of people can use Bluetooth headphones with their phones and stuff. But me personally, I do like using the 3.5mm headphone jack to plug in like all my headsets that I currently have onto my controller to just talk smack and just listen better. It's just something I personally noticed, but it's not a big deal, but it is something I should point out. And I have to say, for this controller, for it being around the 60 USD price range, and with all the features and some of the like small caveats that I have with this controller, I have to say overall this controller is a great controller for around 60 USD. If I was to give this controller a 1 through 10, I would say it's I'd give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. If for the $60 you get a controller that basically works with X input, D input, and also has a workaround with COD Mobile by going into the Bluetooth mode. You get the basic pro features, programmable buttons, turbo, and pass-through charging. This is like the basic stuff that everyone needs for mobile gaming. And I can definitely say that this controller is definitely an upgrade compared to the M05 controller. So with that being said, those are my thoughts on this controller. Alright guys, that is it for this video. If you found this video really helpful, you should hit that like button for me, and also don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel to see my future content. I would like to let you guys know there's currently a Black Friday sale going on Amazon for this controller, so you can get this controller around 40 USD, and there's also going to be a clip-on coupon code that gives you an extra 5% off on this controller, so we should give the controller all the way down to around 35 USD during the Black Friday sale on Amazon. And for 35 USD, this controller is honestly a steal. I highly recommend that you guys go to Amazon, use the code to get extra 5% off and to purchase this controller. Honestly, a great controller, and again, thank you EasySMX for sending me this controller to review.